Welcome to Barbie Dolls of the Week. This week I want to do a video that focuses on some friends of Barbie, which is PJ and Whitney. And PJ and Whitney have been friends for a long time. They're not really used at this point, it doesn't seem to me, as far as those names. Now I do occasionally see Whitney as a little girl, along with Kelly and Chelsea and whoever all the little ones are at this point. I don't deal with those, so I don't really know a lot about them. But yeah, I want to focus today on PJ and Whitney. So let's start with kind of, to me, the quintessential PJ, which is this one right here, Dream Date PJ. Of course, this was from Box Date 1982, and it was part of the set, that you see here with Ken and Barbie and Miss Little Third Wheel, so to speak, PJ. And they had these great 80s outfits, Barbie and PJ, that were very, to me, Dynasty almost, although Dynasty was not very old at that point, so probably wasn't so much Dynasty, because Dynasty, I believe, started in 1981, and these dolls may have been inspired slightly, but probably just from the time, other things. But they certainly remind me of that time period. And I've always thought these were such glamorous dolls. They have the sparkly top at the blue, and Barbie's was red, and I have the Barbie, of course. But anyway, PJ is just a beautiful doll. I think she's truly one of the most beautiful ones of the 80s as far as her face. And here's one I have that's out of the box. And, you can see her face, and she's got that slightly open lip thing going on. And, you could rearrange this outfit in various ways. But, over the years, obviously, they get a little harder to work with, and this gets looser and so forth. So I don't change this one around a lot because it's hard to get it looking good. But this one is pretty much on display. Speaking of that, I just want to address a question that I saw in the comments of one of my videos recently, and that is, as a collector, the person said he or she was not ashamed to admit that they play with their dolls, brush their hair, change their outfits, and people see dolls like these just sitting on the or standing on the shelves, or sitting in some cases, and so it was kind of like, well, are you really a collector if you don't even play with them? Well, I think there are different types of collectors, first of all, and I've had these dolls, some of them for 30 or more years, and what you see is some on display, but that's not the only one. So a lot of times, like you saw with PJ here, I have one in the box and one out of the box, and a lot of times another one that's more playable. So I do change outfits on some of the dolls. Sometimes I do definitely work with their hair a lot of times. And to me, sometimes that is sort of playing with them. Now, many, many years ago, when I had a lot more time on my hand, I actually did sort of like my own little soap opera with them. I told stories with them. And so, and sometimes I still do a little bit of that, but for the most part right now, due to time constraints with work and everything, I don't play with them a lot, but I love restoring dolls and doing their hair and so forth. So, anyway, just wanted to touch on that real quickly. So, moving on, another PJ doll that I want to show you is Sweet Rose's PJ. And, of course, she has that famous, or this famous dress that you see here with the sort of scalloped look to it. I'm going to take her off the stand for a minute so I can show you it a little better. And of course she's got the supposed roses going on here that you see. Her hair is a really nice color and a very different style. I mean, that's one of the things that I liked about these dolls back then and today, is that they're different. They're not, obviously the typical blonde doll. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with the blonde doll. But I just always found some of these others much more interesting, especially that first PJ I showed you. And if I had to guess, when I went buying them way back there in the 1982-83 time period, I would have bought those. If I could only buy one, I would buy the African American or the dark-haired doll every time, because I just preferred them. Then when I had more money, I'd go back and get the blonde one. So It was like sometimes you have to make choices, and that was what I felt like. Her hair is in still pretty good shape. Since this is the one that's on display of this doll, then I try to keep it looking as close to its original form as possible. So again, that's part of what I do is some of the ones that are on display are for display, and some of the other ones, because when you have as many dolls as I have, you have some that you can play with and some that you don't want to play with, so that's fine, or do whatever with. So okay, so yeah, Sweet Rose's PJ. One of the things I would have loved to see, by the way, is sort of a male companion. Oops, she took a head dive. A male companion for her, but she didn't have one. Maybe she wanted a female companion. I don't know. No judgment. Okay, so then we move on to Whitney. So first I'm going to start with what I think is one of the quintessential Whitney dolls, and that is, of course, Jewel Secrets Whitney. I think people love this doll. I don't think I've ever heard a negative thing about her. She's a beautiful doll and excellent hair. That this one could use a little brushing, but it's in very good condition. The other thing is when you're handling these dolls or quote-unquote playing with them, you do want to be careful because as old as they are, sometimes they are easily things break. So just be careful. And I do think that when you have a doll out and you use it in stories or dioramas or any of that stuff, and you're handling it, it may be the more you handle it, it stays in more limber condition. That I'm not sure. But I know especially the neck joints and I've heard people tell stories recently on Facebook about arms breaking off of dolls just out of the, practice snapping off and things like that. So I just want people to be careful when they do, because they are old at this point. So this is from box date 87, and she was, of course, part of a group. Again, I think 3 dolls, Barbie, Ken, and, of course, Whitney, that I'm holding. And so, yeah, I mean, and sometimes I wonder why did they switch from PJ to Whitney or to whoever, but, they sort of retired dolls in a way. They didn't use them anymore. And so, yeah, I don't know, maybe that's it. She's got this very sparkly dress and jacket that is kind of interesting. It gets a little frazzled easily, like, I don't know if you can see those little strings here. So, again, snags very easily, and she had a little crown-like thing, tiara, which I have in somewhere in a box, but I don't keep it on her as a regular thing. So, and yeah, I do like to switch out outfits on these sometimes, but I always, if I have more than one, I always like to keep one in the original outfit. So that's what I'm doing here. Again, quite long hair on this doll, so. Okay, and then the last one I want to show you is, I believe, now this one I'm not 100% sure which Whitney she is, but I'm pretty sure this is Perfume Pretty Whitney. It's just she's not in her outfit, and I realized right before I started this video I do have her outfit, so I may try that on her and just see how that goes. But this is the outfit I have her in currently. She is just a beautiful doll. I actually think she's slightly more beautiful than the one I just showed you. When you look at her face, I mean, it's just stunning, I think. An excellent, excellent doll. And as far as face molds, I don't know if, like, these two have the same face mold. When I look at them, they look similar, but I'm not sure. I mean, her eyes are definitely bigger, but that could just be paint. So she has the nice earrings on. She did have a ring, but it's missing. I don't know. Oh, yeah, she did have a necklace. By the way, I wanted to show you this box. If she is indeed Perfume Pretty Whitney, then this is the set I'm talking about. And I always liked, by the way, Ken's outfit in this. There's a lot of nice Ken outfits from the 80s. Here's Ken, speaking of him. He can make an appearance. Perfume Pretty Ken. Or, sorry, Perfume Giving Ken. That was kind of funny. It was like Perfume Pretty and Perfume Giving. They didn't want to call him Perfume Pretty, God forbid. And then, of course, the Barbie. I like that dress better than this one, actually. I like the color better here, the style better here. Okay, but back to the doll. She's got a great head of hair, beautiful color. Still looks great after all these years. Now, this is a doll that I restored and fixed up. I may have told you about that in a previous video, but she's always worth another look. She is one of my top 12, let's say, dolls, maybe top 10 of all the 80s dolls. So, such a pretty one. Um, I don't love this dress, but it's just okay. I would like to find a better dress for her to be in. This dress is maybe it's just not quite up to. I think she's more stylish than the dress, and she needs something more fitting to her. So I will find something for her. Okay, I just want to close with a couple other things I wanted to mention to you guys. Um, I'm probably not going to be doing the Barbie videos as often right now because personally I've got a lot going on as far as my job. I've been at my job for 16 years, and as of today, actually, it's officially 16 years. And that job is ending. I'm only going to be there another week and a half. Um, I've decided to move on, and I'm looking for another job. Meantime, I have accepted a buyout package from my current job, so I'm glad to be able to say that. But it had just gotten to the point where I didn't want to be there anymore, and when that offer was made, I decided to take it. But I'm spending a lot of time looking for a new job. And the good news is I have my first interview coming up this week, so wish me good luck. And I'm hoping that the new adventure will start before long, and I will keep you posted. But anyway, I am spending a lot of time on that, and so I don't plan on right now doing videos every week, but probably at least every other week I will be trying to do a video. So stay tuned, stay with me, and I hope you like this video. Please like, subscribe if you haven't, and share. Thank you. Bye.